everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining Introduction to Yoga. I'm Tracy. I'm here to lead you through the practice today, and I'm here with Django. Hopefully he doesn't cause too many distractions. He seems a little hyper. We're here live from my living room. Although I'm lying, this is pre-recorded by the time you see it. So if you're brand new to yoga, remember to focus on your breathing. That's the most important thing. And if you don't like any of the poses that I am doing, you don't have to do them. You're not at the gym, so if anything doesn't feel good in your body, just honor wherever you're at today. So without further ado, let's get started. And hopefully he is quiet. So we're going to start with 3 breaths, just to get ourselves centered and still. So inhaling the arms up. Taking a deep breath in, reaching towards the sky, and exhale, sigh it all out, letting everything go. And inhaling the arms up, reaching towards the sky, and exhale, sigh it all out. Worries and cares are melting away with each breath. And inhaling the arms up, and exhale, sighing it all out. And letting your hands land perhaps in your lap, perhaps resting on the knees. Just starting to focus on your own natural breath. Trying to take full deep breaths. And I invite you to set an intention for the practice today. And I'd like to set the intention, or I invite you to set the intention for tapping into your own inner wisdom. I used to worry about everything. I used to be stressed and worried, tense, and it didn't do anything for me. It just gave me headaches and made it very difficult for me to sleep at night. So if I could go back and tell myself and give myself advice, I would tell myself not to worry so much. So if you could go back in time and talk to your 20-year-old self or younger self, what advice would you give? And if you were talking to your future self right now, what advice would they give you in the present? You're full of inner wisdom. It's just a matter of tapping into it. And when you're ready, slowly opening the eyes. And let's do a few little neck stretches to get warmed up. So very gently turning the head to the right. Coming back to center and gently turning the head to the left. I have all kinds of sound effects from this dog. And coming back to center and gently looking towards the ground. And coming back to center and gently looking up towards the sky. And coming back to center. Let's place our hands on our shoulders. And from here, we're just going to do a few little twists. So this should feel nice in your body. You can twist as little or as much as you like. And of course, if this is not comfortable for you, you can always place the hands on the shoulders. It's always good to give yourself a little hug too. I think Django is agreeing. And when you're ready, coming back to center, just making sure both sit bones are connected to the ground. We're going to place the right hand on the ground and extend the opposite hand up towards the sky, coming into a nice side bend. Trying to keep the heart shining towards the sky. And inhale, coming back up, placing the opposite hand on the ground and reaching up towards the sky, shining the heart towards the sky. Something must be going on outside. And coming back to center. So from here, we're going to place the hands on the knees. Just let them gently rest. And we're going to come into our cat-cow from here. So on the next exhale, rounding the spine. And inhaling, arching the spine, lifting the heart towards the sky. And exhale. And you can flow back and forth through this movement, following your breath. That's Django playing with his ball. Okay, that's enough cat-cow. Okay, thank you, Django. Okay. All right. Okay, so from here, we're going to come into a bit of a forward fold, although he's going to land right in front of me. So I'll slide down just a little bit. So we're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, letting the hands land down in front of you, perhaps walking them out a little further, feeling a nice stretch in the back and the hips. I'm probably right in his way. Or maybe he's in my way, I'm not sure. Crazy dog paws. So when you're ready, walking the hands back in, and then switching the legs. So we're going to stretch the opposite hip this time, and then inhaling the arms up. And exhale, just letting the hands come down and perhaps walking them out a little further. Don't let me get in your way, Django. So Django's demonstrating resting poses, which you can come to at any time throughout the practice. And actually that is a nice reminder. You can always come to a nice seated pose, anything that feels good in your body. So from here we're going to cross the left leg over the right leg. And we're going to, maybe he doesn't like this pose. We're going to cross the left hand under the right hand and just place the palms together. Sitting up nice and tall. This should be very relaxing, even though there's a dog barking. But through our practice, we learn to not be so distracted by the various chaos going on around us. We can always find stillness in the chaos. It's always within us, even though it doesn't always feel like it. Django, come back. Come and do resting pose. And then when you're ready, releasing that, we're going to switch the feet. Slide back down to the center a little bit more. And this time we're going to cross the right arm over the left. Sorry, the left arm over the right. And once again, I'm letting the palms connect. This can be very relaxing. Having the palms pressed one against one another can really help calm the mind. feel like you're doing anything in these poses, but we don't always have to be striving. We don't always have to be doing. Sometimes we can just be. Okay, lie down, Django. Show us resting pose. Good boy, good boy. And when you're ready, gently releasing. Maybe he'll be quiet now. So from here, we're gonna place the soles of the feet together. I'm gonna have to slide back, there's a dog in my way. So just letting the soles of the feet touch. And from here, you can gently grab a hold of the ankles or the feet. You can give yourself a little foot massage. And just very gently leaning into that pose. Some of you might be fully extended down, feeling a nice stretch. So just honor wherever you're at today. I do encourage the foot massage. It does feel very relaxing on your feet. We don't often take care of our feet enough. They carry us around all day long. Oh, there he goes again. He's finally settled. All right, so from here we're gonna make our way onto our hands and our knees. And we're gonna press back into child's pose. Just taking a second finding your stillness and peace in this moment. You can always come to child's pose at any time throughout the practice. So this is definitely an option if downward facing dog doesn't appeal to you. If you've been shoveling a lot, you may be feeling it in your wrists and arms, and maybe you don't want to do downward facing dog today, and that's okay. You can stay right here if you choose to. So if you're ready and you want to join me, just make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide, nice and active through the fingers. We're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to start to lift the hips up towards the sky, coming into our first downward facing dog. So if you'd like, you can pedal up the feet to stretch out the legs. Heels don't have to touch the mat. Mine certainly don't. And when you're ready, gently walking the feet up towards the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Bending the knees as much as you need to here. And then bringing the hands to the shins. Back is flat, shoulders are down and away from the ears. And exhale, fold. And inhale, coming all the way up. Hands through heart center. And then landing in our mountain pose. Just taking a second to ground four corners of the feet into the yoga mat. Feeling nice and strong in this pose. Navel's pulled in towards the spine, shoulders are down and away from the ears. So from here, we're going to step the right foot back. And we're going to turn the foot so it's perpendicular to the front foot. So just check the angle of your feet to make sure that It's where you want it to be. Hopefully my mat doesn't slide around. And we're gonna have a nice bend in the knee here. So, and then we're gonna lift the arms up to shoulder height. Let's flip the palms up and press away, pressing the shoulders down so that they're down and away from the ears. So taking as much of a bend in that knee as it's comfortable for you. So if it is uncomfortable, you can always straighten the leg a little more. You don't have to, and you can always shorten your stance as well. So we're gonna let that right arm drop towards the back of the leg. And on the next exhale, we're gonna lean back towards the back of the yoga mat, coming into our reverse warrior. So we're still trying to shine the heart up towards the sky, and we're still trying to take full deep breaths. And if your leg happens to straighten a little bit as you go into this pose, don't worry about it. Just make sure you're breathing. And on the next inhale, we're going to come back up to our warrior two pose. And from here, we're going to let that left arm come down to the left knee. And we're going to let the right hand come up towards the sky. So don't worry if your hand is not on the ground, mine isn't. You can have your hand on your shin, resting on the knee. Or if you're feeling really energetic, you can always have both hands off of the leg, and you'll feel it more in the core. So choose what feels good in your body today. And then inhale, coming back up to our warrior two. We're gonna flow through that sequence a couple of times. So on the next exhale, letting the hand come down, coming into our reverse warrior. So follow your breath. Let your breath guide you through the movement. Coming to warrior two, and then coming into that extended side angle. And inhale, coming back up. Warrior two, and then letting that hand come down. And inhale, coming back up into warrior two. From here, we're going to reach forward. And we're going to start to slowly straighten that leg. So we're not going to lock that knee. So we're going to come into triangle pose. So very gently bringing that hand towards the ground. So my hand doesn't reach the ground, that's okay. You can rest the hand on the shin, or if you have blocks, you can also use a block. And you can also shorten this stance if that feels better for you. So you should be feeling a nice stretch in the back of the left leg. And when you're ready, coming back up into that warrior two pose, bending that front knee. So from here, we're going to bring the hands to heart center, and we're going to turn both feet so they're facing the front of the yoga mat. Let's inhale the arms up, and exhale. We're going to swan dive over and fold, coming into a nice forward fold. Feeling a nice stretch along the back of the legs. And if you don't feel a stretch, maybe you want to walk your feet in a little more. arms up, coming through heart center. We're going to point the toes out to either side of the yoga mat so that they're on an angle, and then slowly coming into a bit of a squat, so you don't have to come down too far. Go to where it feels good in your body. And we're going to extend the hands out like cactus arms coming into our goddess pose. And again, if this is feeling a little too much in the legs, you don't have to come down so far. Or you can take a break. The practice can be a little more fluid for you. It's your practice, so do what feels good for you. Oh, he's on the move again. And then bringing the hands to heart center, we're going to start to straighten the legs, tucking the feet in just a little bit. So the toes are still pointed out towards the side. And we're going to come into 5-pointed star. So lifting the hands up towards the sky, reaching nice and active through the fingers, heart shining up towards the sky. Feeling stronger with each breath that you take in this pose. Bringing the hands back down to heart center. From here, we're going to turn the right foot to which will now be the back of the yoga mat, and we're going to bring the other foot perpendicular to that front foot. And coming into our warrior two on this side. So, putting the palms up, and then pressing the palms down, keeping the shoulders down and away from the ears. We're going to let that back hand come down to the back leg and extending the right arm up towards the sky, coming into our reverse warrior. So if your knee is not as bent when you come into this pose, it's okay. And inhale, coming back up to that warrior two. We're going to let that right elbow come down to the right knee and extend the left arm up towards the sky. So here you can have your right hand down on the ground, resting on the leg, maybe resting on the yoga block if you have one, or you can be really active in the core, lifting both hands off of the legs. And if it feels okay in your neck, you can look up towards the sky, looking at that hand. And inhale, coming back up to our warrior two. So we're going to flow through that sequence, following your own breath. So exhale, coming into our reverse warrior. Letting your breath guide the movement. Coming into warrior two, letting that hand come down or the elbow come down to the knee. And inhaling back up to our warrior two, and one more time coming into reverse warrior. And maybe sinking into that knee a little bit deeper if it feels good. And then coming back up into warrior two, and then coming into that extended side angle. And inhale, coming back up into warrior two, straightening that front leg without locking that knee. And maybe you want to shorten your stance a little bit. We're going to come into that triangle pose. So reaching towards the back of the yoga mat with that right hand, and then bringing that right hand either to the ground, the shin, the yoga block. I'm going to land somewhere on my shin, and then extending that left arm up towards the sky. And when you're ready, coming back into that warrior two. Maybe straightening that front leg out just a little bit. We're going to turn both feet so that they're facing forward, bringing the hands to heart center, and inhale the arms up, and exhale, swan dive over and fold, coming into that nice forward bend, feeling a nice stretch along the back of the legs. Up. Letting the hands come back to heart center. Let's turn the toes out once again and coming down into our squat here. And if you feel like you want to bring the arms back out into cactus arms, Jamie's got a toy now. Hopefully he doesn't get rowdy about it. Coming into our goddess pose. And then starting to straighten the legs. We're going to extend the hands up towards the sky, coming into our five-pointed star. Nice and active through the fingers. Taking a full deep breath. Sighing it all out. And when you're ready, bringing the hands back to heart center. Tucking the feet back in, coming into our mountain pose. So I'm just going to turn this way, facing the edge of the yoga mat. So from here, we're going to make our way down to a seated position. So I like to take a nice deep breath in, swan dive over and fold, taking a second in that forward fold to once again just get a nice stretch along the back of the legs. And you can make your way down to a seated position however you would like to. Your dog paused, and I don't know exactly what he's doing. So from here we're going to come into our boat pose. So resting both feet on the mat. Trying to sit up nice and tall, trying to shine the heart up towards the sky. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. We're going to pick up one leg, flexing the feet, followed by the other foot. So you can stay right here, holding the backs of the legs. That heavy breathing in the background is my dog. So from here, you can let go of the legs. So this is good for the core. You can stay holding the back of the legs if that feels better, if it's too intense. I think he has lost something behind the couch. And when you're ready, letting the feet come down to rest. We'll just take a break for a second. We're going to revisit that one in just a moment. Okay, so when you're ready, taking a hold of the legs, lifting up that left leg, followed by the right, and perhaps letting go of the back of the legs. Still trying to take full deep breaths. perhaps holding the back of the legs if that feels better. And when you're ready, gently releasing that pose. We're going to make our way onto our backs. And while you're doing that, I'm going to grab his ball for him. There we go. So hopefully he stays quiet for us. So making your way down onto your back. So from here we're going to bend both knees. So feet are flat on the floor, and we're going to come into our reclined figure 4. So we're going to place the right ankle on the left knee, taking a hold of that left leg or the shin, wherever it feels good for you. Flexing both feet, feeling a nice stretch in the hips. Each breath feeling more and more connected to your own inner wisdom, feeling more and more peaceful. And when you're ready, gently releasing both legs. Both feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. We're going to cross the left ankle across the right knee. And taking a hold of the back of the right leg or the right shin, keeping both feet flexed. And if you have one side that feels tighter than the other, that's okay. We're working towards bringing balance back to the body. So you can always hold the side that's tighter just a little bit longer. And when you're ready, gently releasing the legs. We're going to extend the feet out long. Jacob seems to be upset about something. We're going to walk the feet over to the right side of the yoga mat. We're coming into banana pose. And then we're going to walk the shoulders over to the right side of the yoga mat. So from here, you can keep the arms along the sides, or you can bring them up overhead. You should feel a nice stretch along the side of the body here. And if you're not feeling too much here, you can always cross the left leg over the right to intensify the stretch. Jacob, look at this one. Look. Ooh, there you go. I get stepped on here. When you're ready, walking the feet back to center, bringing the chest back to center. Just straightening up the spine. We're going to start to walk the feet to the left side of the mat. Here, look at this one. Look. Ooh. And then starting to walk the shoulders over to the right side of the yoga mat. And maybe bringing the hands up overhead. And once again, you can always cross the left leg over the right, or the right leg over the left, if that helps to intensify the stretch for you. Walk back towards the center of the mat. Rocking the shoulders back to the center of the mat, making sure that you're nice and straight here. Bringing the spine back into nice alignment. So from here, we're going to bend the knees just a little bit. Both feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to just let the legs fall to the right and then to the left. Just windshield wipering the legs. Just feeling a nice stretch in the lower back. Letting all of our distractions melt away. As best you can. All we can do is try. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, coming into a little ball, and then just rocking back and forth from side to side, giving ourselves a nice little back massage. When you're ready, coming back to center. Then we're going to extend the feet out long. Coming into our final resting pose. Legs are about as the width of the yoga mat. And letting the palms turn up towards the sky. So if you have a little blanket or eye pillow, you can always place that over the eyes if you'd like to filter out the light to help with your relaxation. And I'm going to just lead you through a guided meditation. And hopefully our little friend is quiet here. So letting your breath return to normal. You walk out the door and walk down a path that leads you to a nature trail. It's quiet and beautiful outside. There are no cares or worries here. The sun is rising and the world isn't quite awake yet. All is quiet and peaceful. All is quiet and peaceful. All you can hear are the footsteps and the birds that are singing this morning. They're singing their morning song. There's a gentle breeze that's very refreshing and calming to your soul. And you feel at peace just walking and taking in nature. You come to a bench and decide to sit for a moment to take in the beautiful sunrise. The warmth from the golden light makes you feel even more calm and relaxed. And you take a moment to listen to the words of wisdom within your soul. You rediscover your inner wisdom, your higher self, and you realize you're never alone. You can always come back and tune in whenever you need guidance and whenever you need some comfort. You feel rested, relaxed, peaceful, and refreshed from your morning stroll, and you're ready to head back. You feel stronger, healthier, revitalized, and ready for anything. You thank the sun and the birds and the trees for providing this peaceful place. And you walk back through the trail and the path and back through the door, gently landing on your yoga mat. And you slowly start to become aware of the room around you. Perhaps wiggling fingers and toes and bringing some movement to wrists and ankles. And rolling over to your right side. And gently making your way back up to a seated position, opening the eyes whenever you feel ready. And feel rested and refreshed and ready to go on with the rest of your day, ready for anything. And let's take one breath together to close our practice. So inhaling the arms up heart center. The light in me honors the light in all of you and every soul. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining the practice. Thank you for putting up with my crazy dog. He has provided some distraction. But as we practice, we learn to deal with these distractions and they don't bother us quite as much. Or we hope that they don't. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you again next week. Bye. Yeah, are you taking hold? Yeah, I think you are. Here, look. Here, look. What's this? What's this? Yeah, that's